million US dollars. Less than a month till the midterms, and voters are gearing up for the home stretch. Thousands rallied in Washington yesterday in a coordinated push for jobs, education, and equality. But with the economy still causing big problems, will it help the Get Out the Progressive vote? Alicia Menendez is a senior advisor for the New Democrat Network. And Alicia, good to see you. Good morning.
Hey, Alex.
So it's no secret, Alicia, the Democrats are concerned about energizing the base and getting out the vote. Did yesterday's rally do anything toward that?
I think it did, absolutely. It showed a united front, and it reminded voters who not have been at the rally, who are sitting at home, that they have a clear choice in this year's election. Listen, there's been a lot of talk about this midterms, about the bloodbaths Democrats are going to see. I just don't think that's true. When you look at polling, MSNBC recently put out a poll, Newsweek put out another, it shows that Republicans' generic numbers are flatlining at about 46% support. Democrats are just below that with 42 or 43% support. If they can just get half of the differential between these numbers and what they saw in 2008 and 2006, they can win this election. They can win seats like Florida 25, Joe Garcia's race, Nebraska 2, that currently belong to Republicans. They can do all of it if they enthuse their base. I think this march did just that.
How about, Alicia, the president, in terms of what he can do in response to the rally that would give progressive voters a sign that he is listening?
You know, Alex, I'm not sure that he needs to do something in response to the rally that he's not already doing. I think he has clarified this choice. You had the Democratic Senate pushing through both Don't Ask, Don't Tell and the DREAM Act, which would have allowed thousands of undocumented students to earn a path to citizenship. And you have him making a really clear distinction between the Democratic philosophy on the economy and the Republican philosophy. And I think that is the choice that the president needs to articulate for the voters. I think he's already doing that.
What about if Republicans take control of the House? How concerned should Democrats be overall that the GOP might turn back some of the president's programs? And you know, one of the first ones they're going to go after is to repeal the health care program.
Right, Alex. And I think this is one of those things that sounds better in theory than it is in practice, because what Republicans will have to do is tell everyone who has their 25 or 26-year-old now being able to stay on their parents' insurance that that's over. They're going to have to tell seniors who've seen reduced costs in their prescription drugs that that's over. And if they go after Wall Street reform, and they have to position themselves as the best buds of Wall Street, which is not an entirely enviable position. So I think these things sound better in theory than they are in practice. I don't necessarily think we see them go after either.
But if the White House doesn't more forcefully tackle progressive issues like Don't Ask, Don't Tell, for example, will the president potentially suffer a lack of support when he's up for re-election in 2012?
I think 2012 comes down, much like 2010, to one big issue, and that's the economy and where the economy is. So I think, you know, and I think if the president and the White House are able to tackle the economy to get things in an even better place than they are right now, it makes it much easier for them to tackle issues like Don't Ask, Don't Tell, like immigration, that really rally and activate their progressive base.
Okay, Alicia Menendez with the New Democrat Network. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.
The Social Network has been a much talked about movie that hit the big screen this weekend, but has it been keeping ticket takers busy?